Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am the host, Big B, along with my co-host, the Prime Moose, Tim Hendricks. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. Got home before the weather hit because I thought maybe I'd be stuck at work for a third time in about a week and a half, but weather's okay here so far. But first off, I know we're typically not a morning or a sports show, but myself and Tim, as you guys know, host Morning Tailgate, and we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Mr. Hamlin, defensive back for Buffalo. If you were watching the game yesterday, took a hit, collapsed on the field, rushed to the hospital. The latest I heard is he's a critical condition, but we all hope that he's doing well, and just know that we're thinking of you. Tim, you got anything to say about it?
Yeah, it's one of those freak injuries that is absolutely shocking. It's a normal hit that every NFL NFL player, football player takes. It just happened to catch him at the right time in a sinus rhythm, and it stopped his heart. Last I heard, he had cardiac arrest on the field. Yep. And then they gave him a chemical induced coma to get him back to normal, or whatever his normal is going to be. I think the thing that saved his life the most was that the training staff got out there and did CPR right away. It's almost like they knew exactly what had happened. I think the Buffalo Bills are lucky to have a training staff like that. But our thoughts and prayers definitely go to Damar and his family, and also to T. Higgins, because somebody who lays a hit like that, he's going to have a lot of guilt. He's going to have a lot of stress. He's going to take a lot of that, and by no fault is it anybody's fault that injury happened. It's just one of those freak injuries.
Yep, exactly right. So hopefully we have more up-to-date stuff. I believe we're going to do our show Saturday. I got stuff going on Sunday, so hopefully we have some updated stuff and good news on Saturday for Morning Tailgate. So with that being said, let's get into what our show's about, ranking different stuff. So, last week we did people born on certain days. We've done video games, football, sports stuff. This time, I think we're going to do 2000. Well, I don't think. I know we're going to do the year 2000. We're going to do top movies, TV shows, songs, champions, and, of course, people that we lost. Do a lot of research. A lot of things happened in 2000. Of course, I think the biggest event we all know is 9/11. So
9/11 was 2001.
Was it 2001? Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay, I'm a year off, but I know why. I thought it was because of what I picked for my World Series. So, all right. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with our movies. Tim, your number 5 movie.
My number 5 movie. A lot of people would consider this their favorite football movie. I think you had him on one of your lists for favorite sports movies. It's definitely one of Denzel's best movies. Everybody who's watched it, seen a lot of actors that have come out of that movie and have become big stars. Remember the Titans.
Yep. No, great movie. You are exactly right on that. For me, kind of a funny story behind my number 5 movie, but it is a classic, or I should say classic. It's still, I think, too early to be a classic, but uh, funny movie. I think they made 3 of them, and that's Meet the Parents. The funny story was behind it is I'd never seen that movie, and my ex I was dating at the time invited me over so I could meet her parents and watch Meet the Parents. So that was a running joke at our work where we met at. So that's my number 5. Your number 4.
My number 4 gave Tom Hanks I believe, his third Oscar for best actor. Basically, it's just him in a volleyball. He's in this movie by himself for 2 hours and 15 minutes where he's doing nothing but talking to a volleyball. And I think at that point, everybody started wanting a Wilson volleyball because of Tom Hanks and Castaway.
Okay. Yeah, I think that might be one of the only Tom Hanks movies I don't think I've seen. So, number 5 for me, another movie that I think it was the second in this series. Again, a funny movie. I think the first one was still better, but the second one wasn't too bad. Next Friday. Um, Classic lines out of that one. Again, got stars in that one. So, what is your number 3?
My number 3. I saw this movie and I absolutely loved it. It's weird. It put Christian Bale, basically made Christian Bale a Hollywood name. Every time I watch it, it's creepy, it's funny because it's a dark comedy, but it's a horror film, a psychological thriller, and I love those. And the fact is, he's got this running monologue about Huey Lewis and the news in it, and it's just funny, but yet it's kind of creepy in the same way, and it's American Psycho.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I like that one. You're right there. Number 3 for me, we're a couple of days or about a week away from Christmas. And I think they casted the perfect character or perfect actor, Jim Carrey, to play this role. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Maybe a little high on a lot of people's list, but it was still, I still think a pretty cool movie. So you're rolling your head.
Yeah, I forgot all about the Grinch. I really did.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. We got 12 months of movies to pick from. So we're going to probably miss a lot. So number 2 for you.
I want to think this was Mel Gibson's directorial debut, but I'm not sure. It's a biopic. It's not a real. It's based on a true story about the where they called the Ghost during the American Revolutionary War. It's got Mel Gibson. It's got Heath Ledger. It's got one of my favorite actors of all time, Jason Isaacs, as the perfect villain. And it's The Patriot.
Ooh. Okay. No, that's a good one too. I did see that one and thought about it. I don't recall if I've seen the whole thing, but might be a movie I have to go check out. My number 2, a dark movie out of the series. I wouldn't say a remake, but I don't know how you would classify it, but it's The Dark Knight, the Batman series. Heath Ledger played the perfect Joker.
That wasn't 2000.
Yeah, it was. I'm looking at it right now.
Batman Begins.
Nope, you are right. I'm sorry, guys. I need to do a little bit more research. I typed in 2000 and it popped up as one of the best movies. Okay, so let me take that off the list. I don't know why I saw that, but okay. I'm gonna go Big Mama's house then. I did have it on there, and then I scratched it out because I was doing research, and Dark Knight popped up, and I'm like, oh well, of course that was a good movie in 2000. Wow. Okay. So Big Mama's house, Martin Lawrence.
I love that movie.
You know,
That's a good movie too. That's
that is funny. The second one was so. I think they
yeah.
were the third one. I think.
Yeah, I didn't see the third one. I saw the first two.
Yeah, but yeah. I was doing this late last night, guys. So forgive me. I'm throwing Dark Knight in there. So you're number one too.
I think this is definitely hands down the best movie of 2000. It won it won the Oscar for Best Picture. Um, Everybody sees this. This was the last. This was the last movie that. Oh man, I'm going to get names wrong in this. Two actors died um, during filming or directly after. Um, I want to remember. One's Rex Reed, and the other one was the person who played Dumbledore in the first two Harry Potter movies. Um, Harris, two amazing actors. But everybody remembers Russell Crowe. Absolutely tour de force role. Absolutely. If it wasn't for Tom Hanks being there that year with Castaway, I think Russell Crowe wins the Oscar for Best Actor. But this thing was wall to wall excitement for me. But Gladiator deserves everything it got that year.
Oh, no, you're exactly right. Another movie I know I've seen bits and pieces of. You nailed my number one when you picked your number five. Remember the Titans. I enjoy that movie every time I see it. I've probably seen it. I don't know how many times, but like you said, Denzel's probably one of his best works. There's even some funny lines in there, and it just shows how back in the day when they started segregating, putting, mix people into schools and stuff, how they had to react. So, yeah, my number five or number one is your number five. Remember, Titans. Any movies you left off that were kind of hard?
The two that I missed, obviously at this point, the Grinch definitely. If I'd have known Grinch was on there, I may not have put American Psycho. Oh wow! Next Friday. How did I miss Next Friday? That's another one of those.
Yeah.
2000. There was just a lot of great movies that came out, and that was one of those years that it was just hard to pick and miss.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. It's a lot going on in 2000. So,
what did you miss? What did you?
Ready to Rumble. I thought it was a pretty cool movie. Road Trip.
Yeah,
those
Ready
are
to Rumble was
movies
awesome.
I've actually enjoyed watching. But like you said, there's a lot of classics out there that we're missing. Again, it's our list, and we're taking 12 months out of a year to make a list. So let's move over to the TV side of things. You're number five, Tim.
I didn't see this series until well after it ended. But I remember this series quite well. You got Ray Romano. Just watching that really put Ray Romano, took him from being a stand-up comedian, put him right out right in your living rooms. To me, I always love watching this TV series, and it's just fun to watch. But everybody loves Raymond.
Nope. Yep. That was one I saw there. Kind of left it off. Again, like you said, I wasn't one that watched it in the year 2000s, but watched it reruns. For me, I kind of got a tie here because I kind of watched them both here and there, but I'm watching the reruns quite a bit now, and they're funny, and I wish I would have watched them when they're in the 2000s. But the Family Guy and South Park, I kind of put together. Like I said, it wasn't stuff I watched then, but wish I would have tuned more into it. So, what's your number four, Tim?
I started watching this in 2000, so I kind of I can understand the thing and what about the big thing about it. It's still going on, which is weird because a lot of shows can't say that they're still going on 22 years later. But this was one of those shows that got me really into the genre of crime and punishment and types of things. But Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Yeah, no, yeah, Law and Orders. I've you gotta say you've seen a few of those. So I've seen some of those. My number four, again, a show that I'm more watching now is reruns, but it's a funnier than heck movie. King of Queens. I kind of wish I would have watched that when it was coming out. So you're number three.
Again, this is like you. I didn't watch this one at the beginning when it started, but I'm starting to watch it now a lot more. Definitely not what you expect. But it put names on the map. If you're talking about a TV series that put names on the map, we're talking Anthony Edwards, we're talking George Clooney, we're talking Noah Wiley, we're talking it's and I didn't understand it then, but I understand it a lot more now because I really enjoy this type of TV show. But I'm really getting into ER.
Yeah, well, once you said George Clooney, I knew exactly where you're heading. But yeah, I don't know. I guess the medical field is just not one of those shows. I mean, I've seen some of them, great shows. I think they lost a lot. They lost a lot of luster when George Clooney left that series. So
Yeah.
for me, definitely another TV show that back in the day I didn't watch because I thought it was kind of girly-ish or whatever. But now I'm getting into it. You know, it circles around the cafe. It's Friends. Definitely enjoy the series. Kind of wish they reboot it with a couple of them if they could. So you're number two.
Yeah, I couldn't. I've watched a couple episodes of Friends, but I still to this day I really can't get into it.
Okay.
I've never understood why. Um, but my number two is I didn't watch again. I think I think this is pretty much a broken record.
Yeah.
We didn't see them all back in 2000. And then again, you got to remember 2000. How old was I in 2000? I was 25.
Oh yeah.
So at that point, a 25-year-old is not really watching a lot of TV during the week. They're trying to go out, play sports, any type of sports, go out, and hang out. But that changed the moment I turned 30.
Yep.
But the original Law and Order.
Okay.
To me, it's to me it's just still fun, and I can understand I can understand why it was so popular in 2000. It's popular to me right now, so I really enjoyed it.
Yep. No, they had a lot of spin-offs of Law and Order, and so for me, number two, I actually kind of got into this. I want to say I think it started before 2000, but got into it quite a bit for a few years just because of the aspect behind the TV show. A group of people, strangers living together, trying to outdo each other at different events and trying to vote people out, trying to be the last one. And that's Big Brother. I enjoyed watching it. Yeah, it got repetitive after a while, but for the first few years I saw it was pretty good. So you're number one.
I'm not a reality show person. I'm not. But when I saw and this is funny because I actually directed and videotaped somebody's audition video for this TV show. And I thought, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Why do you want to do this? And I started watching it afterwards and realized, yeah, it looks fun. And it's basically stabbing people in the back and any way you can and any which way you can. And I still to this day don't understand why this show is so popular, but it was fun to watch back in 2000. And I had a family member who auditioned to go. I had an ex-girlfriend who auditioned to go, um, and it's Survivor.
Hopefully not at the same time.
No. It was 2001 with the
Okay.
ex-girlfriend, and my aunt was like 3 years ago, 4 years
Oh,
ago,
really?
3 4 years
Yeah.
ago.
I
Yeah.
would have figured. I would have figured you would have said your brother would have went for it.
No.
But my number one, Tim, I applaud you because that was my number one too. Was Survivor. Yeah, I did get too much into reality shows, but it was like, okay, you got a group of people, trying to survive, and so it kind of made it cool for a while, and then again, just like a lot of reality shows, the same things happen. Like you said, a lot of stabbing in the back and try to make it work out. But it was a good one to catch for a couple seasons. So anything you left off, really? I mean, like you said, I mean, our age at the time, we're playing softball, out partying, working a lot. So I could say I didn't leave much off because again, like you said,
I
we
left
weren't really watching stuff.
one thing, and I absolutely love this, and I love this show, and it was The West Wing. To me, I love things that happen in and around the White House for some
Yep.
reason. And to me, I thought West Wing was the perfect example of what I feel goes on in the White House. And yeah, I love the West Wing. It's just when Martin Sheen's presidency was over, I think it started to go downhill.
Yep.
But yeah, the West Wing
Okay.
was the tough one to take off.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let's move into some songs here. This one again, I mean, we probably left off a lot of good songs. We probably could have done a whole hour of songs. So you're number 5.
It's weird because this one everybody thinks is a French group, and it's not. It's from Italy, and I didn't realize that until I moved here. And the lead singer actually went to college with my wife. So, and I thought, and she's met him on more than one occasions, and they've taken classes together at the university. And I love this song because it's just a catchy song. It's so stupidly catchy, and it gets stuck in your head. And every time I hear the word blue, I just got that stupid song stuck in my head, and it's Eiffel 65's Blue.
Blue. I think I know what song you're talking about, but
yeah, wait, look at it when you get a chance. Look it up. It's stuck in your head, and then you realize that the guy's Italian. I have a blue house with a blue window. It's catchy. Wait, you'll listen to it after the show.
I will have to definitely. Eiffel 65 is what you said?
Yep.
All right, I got it on my phone right now, so I will listen to it after we get off the air here. For me, number 5, probably, a crush in most guys' eyes, especially if you're a teenager at this time. She had a couple songs come out in the year 2000, and I'm going to go with "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears. I mean, even at my age, I mean, kind of had a little crush on her. So, you're number 4.
Wow, I forgot all about that one.
Huh.
Completely forgot about that one. Wow. Yeah, I kind of had a little crush on her too. That sucks. Probably one of 2 of the best love songs that came out in 2000. Country band. Every time I hear this song, it just it's good. It brings a nice little good happy tear in your eye. But Amazed by Lone Star.
Oh, yeah. Great song. You are right. That is one that I kind of left off. Yeah, that you are right on that one. That's definitely a good song. Yeah, definitely, at the right moment, I think it would make anybody cry. So for me, number 4, for a while, I think it was the anthem for most football teams to pump up the crowd and stuff like that. And I know if it was out in 94 or 95 when I was DJing up in Michigan with you, I would have played this probably quite a bit almost every night. Who Let the Dogs Out by Baja, man.
Oh my
You know,
god!
so
How did I forget that? I have officially missed 2 songs. I know it's no Tony Gwynn, but that still sucks.
yeah. So yeah, Baja, man. You're number 3.
It's funny when I hear this song. This is another one of those songs that gets stuck in my head, but it's so catchy. And to bring in the lead singer of Matchbox 20 to be the singer on this song, "Smooth" by Santana, featuring
Ooh,
Rob Thomas. To
I
me,
did
that's
miss
just
that one.
and every time I hear that, it makes you want to dance. It really, really
Yep.
does. It's one of those, but it gets stuck in your head, and it's like you really don't want it to be there anymore.
No, you're exactly right. My number 3, um, I'm not really. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm not a fan of his because I do listen to quite a few of his songs, but I just like his story on how he got into the business, freestyle rap for Dr. Dre on a radio show, and they called him up or got his name. Eminem's Real Slim Shady, uh, definitely
Holy hell!
a guy that Tim. I mean, we got 12 months of music to
I know, but I'm like,
Yeah.
holy hell!
All right, you're number 2.
Um, this was their debut, their debut single, and I every time I hear it, it takes me back to the concert that I saw at Alpine Valley. Um, and it's amazing to me. It's funny and to hear this song now and what happened. Um, but every time I hear "Higher" from Creed,
Okay.
it's to me it's I love the song, and it that was the opening of the door for me to listen to Creed was this song, and I like Creed. I don't care. I don't care who says you're weird for listening to Creed. Yeah, I went to the concert. I know I'm weird. I was born weird.
Yeah. No, I got you on that one. Yeah, another decent song. Number 2 for me. I know he's had a few bangers, but this one, I think I like is "Country Grammar" by Nelly. I don't know what more to say about that one, but that's my number 2. Your number 1.
My number one is to me is the best country love song for the year, and I'm almost going to guarantee it's probably the best love song of the year.
Ooh.
And to know that she sang this, I believe she sang this because of her husband, or I don't know if they were married at the time, but you know, it's one of those again. It's an amazing song. This one would be top 10 on love songs of all time, and it's just an amazing song. And it's another one that just makes you feel a lot of strength and a lot of love, and it's Faith Hill's "Breathe."
Ooh, nice. I do like that one. Yep. Yep. Yeah, according to the list I'm looking at right now to see what songs I kind of missed, that's the number 1 that they had on here. No, I'll have to go back and listen to that one. For me, uh, if you want to talk rivalries in the music industry, you had 2 boy bands battling back and forth.
Which one
But
is it? Which one is it? Is it "Bye Bye Bye"?
yes, I'm going to sing "Bye Bye Bye." Uh, and everybody does it every time they, back in the day, "Bye Bye Bye."
Well,
Yep, yep. So that's my number 1.
oh,
So
we don't have to discuss what I missed, because obviously I've missed 4 of them at this point.
well, yeah, I'm just looking at the list here. My Maria, or not My Maria, Maria
Don't say that
Maria.
was. Don't
No,
say "My Maria" was 2000. I'm like,
no,
forget
Maria
it. I
Maria from
quit.
Santana. Santana, I think, had a big year that year in the wine
Yeah, yeah.
industry. Um, I Want to Know by Joe. Say My Name by Destiny's Child. We missed out.
No, I didn't miss it.
I didn't miss it.
I didn't miss it.
Let's see. What else? Cisco's The
I'm not-
Thong Song.
I'm not a big Beyonce or Destiny's
Yeah.
Child fan, so I didn't miss it.
I'm with you. I mean,
I get the hype. I get
yeah.
the hype. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess.
Yeah, the Thong Song.
We're not. This isn't the Four Bros show, dude. We can't be throwing the thong song out.
Yeah, the Kryptonite.
Yeah, I saw that live, and I'm still.
What a Girl Wants. What a Girl Wants by Christina Aguilera.
Oh my god!
Another good slow song, love song. Back at One by Brian McKnight is a good one.
I don't remember that song.
Yeah, you have to listen to that one. Let's see. I'm just looking at some here. It's Going to Be Me by NSYNC was released that year.
Jeez.
Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. Backstreet Boys, another good song. There's a lot of going on. Come On Over, Baby. All I Want Is You by Christina Aguilera. All the Small Things.
That was a big year for Christina Aguilera because I think Genie in a Bottle was around that time too.
Yeah, I think so. It might have been the year before.
Right.
Blink-182's With All the Small Things.
Love that song. Love it. Don't know why I forgot it.
This one I do love, and I might contest Faith Hill on, and I don't know why I didn't put this one on there, but Thank God I Found You by Mariah Carey featuring Joe at 98 Degrees. I like that song.
Yeah.
There was another one on here too that jumped out at me too, and I was like, yeah. Oh, 98 Degrees. Give Me Just One Night.
Never heard it.
Really? I think that's the one that they did overseas, and they couldn't do the musics to it due to regulations or something, so they had to have earpieces in or something and try to keep the beat going or something like that. I think that's the song that was Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z. So,
jeez.
Only God Knows Why by Kid Rock was also released at that time. So, yeah, I again, we could have done a whole hour of songs from this year, I think, or any year.
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's get into the sport side of things, and our champions of 2020. Now, me and Tim talked. This was either individual, team sports, whatever, as long as they held a title or were crowned champions, that's what we're going to give them. So you're number 5.
I'm a big fan of NASCAR. I really am, and a lot of people don't. Well, unless you're like my nephews and they understand that. I really love watching racing. I think one time you came back to Michigan, I think you and I had gone to Norway to see a night of racing.
Yep.
I love it. And to me, I've always been a big fan. And this was the year that I had hoped, and this is technically my nephew was my nephew's, actually he wasn't born yet, but he became my nephew's biggest fan. He used to call him Bob. He used to call him Bunny LaBunny. And 2000, he had won the most races that year. But he won by points. But Bobby Labonte, to me, raced for Joe Gibbs Racing. Won a lot. I think that's his only title he's ever won. It also made him. I can't remember if it's the first or second pair of brothers to ever win a NASCAR championship. Because I know Terry had won one in 96 or 97.
Yeah, you could be right. I don't follow racing too much, but we go local racing, like you said, up in Iron Mountain. We went to a couple races, but for me, number 5, and I kind of think either this started the dynasty for them or a powerhouse, I should say. Maybe not much of a dynasty. But in the basketball world, the women's NCAA champion that year, UConn, 36-1 that year, I just destroyed everybody.
That was Diana Taurasi. Was that Taurasi on the team?
I believe so. I believe that was, yeah. So you're number 4.
My number 4 is, and this makes me sick because I'm not a fan of this team. I'm not a fan of the next 2 teams. Hate them, absolutely hate them. But Shaquille O'Neal was the season lead, was the season MVP. I believe that was the year that the Pacers had lost to the Lakers. Um, Kobe on the Lakers. Kobe, this is a Kobe Shaq. Can't remember if this is the middle of if this was the first of the repeat or if it's the second. Um, but yeah, the 1999-2000 Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, I kept them off the list. I mean,
Hands
granted, respect for Kobe and Shaq, but yeah, I just, Laker fans make me just not like them. And that's sad because Lakers have had a lot of great players back in the day, So, number 4 for me, um, grew up mainly watching this college team because they were the only thing on because Minnesota at the time did not produce a good college program. So grew up a Michigan fan. The Orange Bowl, Michigan beats Bama in an upset too. I think Michigan was ranked 5th and Bama was 5th, or Michigan was 8th and Bama was 5th, 35-34. So I know my Uncle John was happy about that one. So big Michigan fan. You're number 3.
This is the other team that I hate with a freaking passion. Absolutely, and this is one of the reasons why I think they're the evil empire. This is the Subway Series, the one where Roger Clemens throws a broken bat back at Mike Piazza. And what was it? The next pitch, he cranks a home run. I can't remember. I think that's that. I might be wrong. But the 2000 New York Yankees.
Yeah.
It makes me sick. It just does.
Yeah. My number 3, I think this started putting her on the map, her and her sister, Venus Williams in tennis. She was just dominant, 98 going into, or 99 going into 2000. And I think it helped women's tennis too. I think, her and her sister alone, I think put a lot of women's butts on in tennis. So you're number 2.
I think this is. I'm a hockey fan, but I'm not a fan of this team. But I love hockey. And it's amazing because I think this was the only time that Martin Brodeur had ever won a Stanley Cup.
I believe you're right.
And I know Scott Stevens' only time he's ever won it, and it was fun because I think that's the only time I think the Devils have ever won a world has a team from New Jersey has ever won a championship too. Because technically the Giants play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So yeah, but then again, you got to think about it. You had the New Jersey Nets. The New Jersey Nets were never going to win an NBA Finals. But yeah, to me, I was so happy to see the New Jersey Devils win a Stanley Cup, and especially Martin Brodeur. He had deserved it for so long, and to be. I want to say my cousins are going to hate me because I think if I remember right, they beat the St. Louis Blues, and because I think that was the Dallas Stars. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that was the Mike Modano Dallas Stars, I think. And I like Mike Modano. I think the Stars were a great team that year. It's just they just came up against a lights out goalie and Martin Brodeur.
Yeah, just like Dallas, to steal championships away from Minnesota, even though they didn't win one that year. For me, my number 2, your number 3, and I have it ranked up there just because it was the Subway Series, and this is why I thought, for some reason I thought 9/11 happened. That's why it stuck out to me. But yeah, New York Yankees 4-1 over the Mets. Like you said, Clemens, throwing the bat, and just I think honestly, yeah, we both can agree we don't like the Yankees, but you give me a series where it's in-state rivals, it's going to be a big one. I mean, Chicago definitely would be a good one. So, you're number one.
My number one. I think this is your number one as well. To me, when I saw this game, I thought this was the game. I think I was standing up on my feet from the second quarter on, and to see a team that was such a high powered offense almost lose to a team to a team who was a defensive team like Jeff Fisher's team was at the time, and only to lose by a yard, basically a yard. To me, and I was lucky enough to see them the year after in St. Louis, and even then that team was scary good. To see the greatest show on turf actually do what they did in the Super Bowl and almost lose to probably one of the better defenses, I think that gets absolutely almost no credit because they lost the Super Bowl. Like they say, history's written by the winners.
Yep.
And Tennessee had a really, really good defense that year.
Yeah, they did.
But to see that little secret, Green Bay Packers, you let this guy go because you had Mark Brunell and you had Ty Detmer and you had Brett Favre. Let's see, you don't let you let Detmer go. You let Mark Brunell go. Okay, let Detmer go. Keep Brunell, and let Kurt Warner play on your starting in your, and he would have learned a lot more. But yeah, definitely the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams.
No, you're right. But I'm going to shock you. It's not on my list. It's not my number one. No, great game. I want to kind of mix it up a little bit. I figure, I actually didn't think you were going to pick that. I figured you're going to go somewhere else. With, I actually thought you were going to go with my side, but maybe, probably again, just like Venus Williams and Serena, this guy put a lot of people.
I know
a lot of people in the golf world. Definitely got me playing golf, watching him, and granted, he could probably golf left-handed and still beat me by 30 some strokes, if not more. I mean, his kid is just phenomenal right now. Watching him, Tiger Woods. I mean, every Sunday if he was in the running, you were watching. I know I was. So he ended up winning 3 titles that year, golfer of the year. Highest money maker. So definitely Tiger Woods. So, all right. So let's finish it up. Somber note, I guess, for 2000. I think this is definitely going to be a pretty interesting list for both of us. But the celebs or famous people that left us in 2000, the year 2000. So you're number 5.
To me, this one was a tough list because when you look at the list and you go, oh shoot, this could be and you don't want one of those Black Tuesdays where you look at the list and go, this could be a day and a half. But I went with Vern. I went with Jim Varney. To me, I loved all. I went to Ernest P. Worldway. I went Jim Varney because I grew up watching the Ernest Saves the World, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Does This, Ernest Does That, the Ernest commercials. And then he does the voice of Slinky Dog in Toy Story. And
that is him. That is right.
And he played Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies movie. And you just go, God, what this world lost him too soon. I think he might have been 56, 57, but
something like that.
Yeah, something in that area. But we lost him way too soon. Another one. But to me, Jim Varney. Yeah.
We lost him February 10th that year because that's who I have at number 5. Definitely. I'm surprised we got one right so far because I figured we'd be going. I figured we'd be going opposite ways on some of these. So, but like you said, just like you said, Ernest goes to wherever. He was going everywhere in every movie. So, you're number 4.
I'm gonna guess if you didn't put him on your list, I'd question a thing. Part of the Inouye family. I went the way of a Samoan who played a Japanese sumo wrestler in the WWF. One of the patriarchs of the Samoan family. And to see Lex Luger body slam him is just incredible. But to hear what type of a person he is, what he was amazing, and I love watching him and his family wrestle. But especially somebody who was as big as Yokozuna, he could fly, he could move, he was scary fast for being as big as he was.
Yeah, no kidding. My number 4, definitely lost way too soon. Dexter Thomas, NFL Kansas City Chief, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, another guy, definitely. I think, if I remember, I don't think he was playing at the time. I think.
Yeah, no, he was playing.
Oh, was he still playing? Okay.
He was playing. I think it was during the off season, and he had.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think it was off season.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually February 3rd, so it was right around Super Bowl time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're number 3.
My number 3. Now, I'm pulling out the Minneapolis, Minnesota connection here.
Ooh.
Yeah. We don't have. Okay, I'll let you guess if you want.
I'm trying to think.
I think we are.
Go ahead.
I don't have a date. I know he was born in Minneapolis. And he's known for animating. He's known for drawing comics in newspaper, and of a kid that's got no hair.
I know who you're talking about.
Yep. Charles M. Schulz. If we don't have Charles, if he doesn't die, we get more Peanuts. We get more Charlie Brown. We get more Lucy. We get more Snoopy. Yep. I mean, to me, it was every time I picked up a Sunday newspaper, I was looking for Charlie Brown. I was looking for. It's just, to me, I love it. I love Charlie Brown. And truthfully, if we didn't have Charles Schulz, Fergie would have never voiced Lucy. Would have never voiced Sally in one of the Peanuts holiday specials.
Yep. No, you're exactly right on that. Number 3 for me is your number 4. October 23rd, we lost this guy, Yokozuna. Definitely. Rodney, was his real name. So, but yeah, like you said, I mean, big dude, 5'83", I think it was. But what he could do for a big guy, unbelievable. So, you're number 2. My
number 2. This one kind of sucked when this happened, because I was looking for another grumpier old man. I don't know why. To me, it was between to have him and Burgess Meredith and Jack Lemmon. They all played off each other so well. And Bad News Bears in the 1970s, and to me, the Dennis the Menace in the early 90s. To me, Walter Matthau was such a crucial actor in the comedy world, and to lose him. I know he was old, but I still think there was a couple more years left in that man to put up some golden movies.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Number 2 is for me is Walter same guy, Walter. I mean, everything he touched in the movie world was golden. I think he was in with was it him and Lemon?
It was him and Lemon.
Yeah, those two worked great together. I wish we could have got another Grumpy Old Man or another Odd Couple movie or something like that. You're number 1.
I don't know if your number 1 is my number 1. I honestly don't think. I don't know at this point. To me, everybody at this age and higher and younger all remember this man for one set of movies. I remembered him in Bridge Over the River Kwai. I remember him but everybody remembers him as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the first 3 Star Wars movies. And I remember this because this happened, and it was so weird because I, nobody knew that. I think he was sick, but he was also an older gentleman. I think he was. It was he was. I can't remember. I think he might have been in his 80s when he passed. He was almost closer to his 90s. But one reason why George Lucas brought Alec Guinness in was so he could teach people to how to really make them learn how to become better actors on stage and give them all the hints between him and Peter Cushing in A New Hope. Um, I love anything that Alec Guinness does. To me, Alec Guinness was the consummate professional. Him and Lawrence of Arabia with Laurence Olivier and the others. Um, it was an amazing. He's just an amazing actor, and like Mathau was an icon of Hollywood for their time frame.
No, definitely. Yeah, I did see the name, and I was trying to think of something he was in, and yeah, I left him off my list. But for me, my number one is your number three. I did have Charles Schultz on there because you go around St. Paul, I think is actually where he was born from, and all you see is the peanut statues of everything. Mall America had, you know, um, the rides and stuff, for the peanuts and stuff, and then lost that, right, and I still don't think it's right, but yeah, Charles Schultz definitely icon in the cartoon world in Minnesota for sure. So um, again, I know we could probably go on, but a couple names you left off.
I saw those five and I looked at the lists and I'm going, these five are everybody's going to know these five. Everybody
Yep.
to me they were so influential. Um, Yokozuna was one of the reasons why I almost got into wrestling. I went into wrestling school for a couple months, but to see a
Nice.
man that size do what he did, it gave me a lot more hope. And it just and I'm nowhere near Yoko's size, but
No.
to see what he does, he did stuff that was so much like Bam Bam Bigelow because Bam Bam Bigelow could move too, and but everything and that list to me
No.
was a lot. So I really didn't leave anybody off the list.
Okay. Yeah, some guys I left off. Tom Landry was one. Larry.
Cowboys, no. I respect him as a coach, but he's a cowboy and a giant. And we also what the Colts got done to by the Giants.
Yeah. Larry Linville, best known for his role as Major Frank Burns on TV show MASH. I actually watched that TV show quite a bit. So Steve Allen, another guy I've seen on shows and stuff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some actors out here that okay, I've seen him. Richard Mulligan. Right now, I can't think of a show he's on, but I know I've seen him in quite a few shows.
Richard Mulligan. Was he the one that was on? Nope. I used to know it.
I see his picture now that I'm looking at it, but I can't. I've seen him
I
acting.
can't put it. Yeah, I've seen his picture and I couldn't put it anywhere. I just couldn't.
But yeah, I'll tell you, those guys definitely. Names pop up. It's like, oh yeah, I saw them, and might only know them for a show or two. So
Right.
But with that being said, again, Tim, you got any final thoughts?
It's a great start to the year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Definitely been a newsworthy year. Not only should we pray for Damar Hamlin, but if anybody who's into the movies like I am, Jeremy Renner, the guy who played Hawkeye in the Marvel movies, he's in critical condition right now. He had an accident with a snowplow, which is you shouldn't really want to get into one of those. You don't really need to get into a war with a snowplow because usually the snowplow wins. But other than that, keep watching. download us on the Fire Stick. I've got us on the Fire Stick. You can watch us on all the major networks: ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CBS, CNN. No, I'm kidding. But we've got some great shows. Like Brandon said earlier, we're doing Monday to morning tailgate on Saturday with the guys. We also got some other great shows. Just keep it tuned right here, and we'll entertain you with something.
Yeah, exactly. Keep checking us out. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, watch out Fire Stick. You got some ideas, some stuff you want us to rank, let us know. But I think we're kind of getting in the groove here and doing some very interesting stuff. We just don't want to keep it just sports and movies stuff. We want to go all over the place with this show. So let us know. Again, like Tim said, Saturday we'll do morning tailgate. Tonight will be Between the Ropes, I believe. I haven't heard anything different. Wednesday Sports Minute. And again, also, if you do watch and you caught the Four Bros last night, Oregon Cougars football is starting up here. We got a big thing going with them with J Mac, the voice of Oregon Cougars. He's going to be meet with the team on the 11th, I believe. Practice will be starting up, and I think they said the first game was in April. So
nice.
we want to definitely support all women's football and sports, but definitely
No. We're the official home of the Oregon Cougars, so we don't.
Yes.
We only support the Oregon Cougars. Just so you know, Brandon's not getting paid by the Oregon Cougars. I'm getting paid M&Ms by the Oregon Cougars. This is the home of the Oregon Cougars.
Yes, we are the home of the Oregon Cougars.
And I will send the guys my address so you guys can get me some merchandise so I can wear it on this side of the screen, on this side of the pond. So I'm here, Oregon Cougars. I'm probably not your biggest fan, but I'm big, but I might be your biggest fan.
Yes. So with that being said, just keep checking us out. Being the second show, I think officially, or third show actually officially for C2C in 2023. I think we're gonna have a big year. Got a lot of shows planned. Got some ideas in the works. So with that being said, Tim, thanks again, and hope you all enjoyed another episode of C2C Rankem. Have a good night.